Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Jeff from Mysteel's iron ore department, here to give you the latest on China's ferrous market. Let's dive in. Last week, the spot ferrous market rose slightly, supported by stable steel fundamentals and improving sentiment. Although the off-peak season continued to weigh on price gains, the futures market witnessed stronger momentum, primarily due to the emergence of the anti-involution theme in domestic economic policy. In particular, the meeting of the Central Financial and Economic Affairs Commission reiterated the need to resolve disorderly competition and encourage the acceleration of phasing out inefficient capacity. This, combined with recent environmental sintering restrictions in Tangshan, Hebei, boosted market confidence during this period. However, the macro environment remained complicated as expectations for U.S. interest rate cuts softened, adding to market volatility. Total steel inventories remained basically flat last week, with both supply and demand rising. Specifically, apparent consumption of finished steel rose slightly, with construction steel contributing the most, as heavy rains ended across many regions of China. This, combined with heightened expectations for supply-side reform policies aimed at easing overcapacity in the steel sector, has bolstered market confidence. However, the ongoing off-peak season continued to limit the scale of spot price gains. Hot metal production experienced a relatively obvious decline over the past week, primarily due to seasonal maintenance plans and capacity replacement at several steel mills. In addition, environmental sintering restrictions in Tangshan City continued, which will likely negatively affect local hot metal output, although no restrictions have yet been imposed on blast furnaces, according to Mysteel's latest survey. However, raw materials generally saw an uptick, mostly due to support from the steel market. In particular, iron ore prices rebounded, although portside inventories saw a marginal increase. This round of supply-side reform is likely to first address overcapacity issues in downstream industries, such as automobiles and photovoltaics, which is expected to lead to a decrease in steel demand from the manufacturing and energy sectors. However, the extent of demand decline is expected to be limited, as the policy targets capacity reduction rather than direct production cuts. Overall, the anti-involution theme has likely already been priced in, and whether the current market rebound can be sustained remains in question. Looking ahead, the off-peak season is expected to continue dominating the ferrous market narrative, while macroeconomic uncertainties and industrial policy developments will continue to add fluctuations. Thanks for tuning in to this week's China Ferrous Market Update. We'll see you next time.